I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, if you don't leave me alone, you're gonna have to send me home, 'cause I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator.
Classified my ass!
Government is another way to say better than you.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show.
Want the Sackheads to give you a blessing?
8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
And welcome to... Whoa. Yeah. Dang, everything kind of going nuts on me today. Alright. Welcome to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. Again, new board, new everything. So I've been spending all last night and today getting everything up and running. But everything seems to be going peachy keen, except for that one little glitch. That was a small little glitch that just went from one track to another. I think I got that taken care of. Other than that, it is a rainy after Tuesday afternoon. It is October 27th. And this is the Reaver Common Sense Show. Alright, I'm going to start off. It's came from yesterday. I didn't get time to it, but I am not calling for. I'm reading the title. I will not be watching any more of this director's films. NYPD union calls for boycott of Quentin Tarantino films after director's anti-cop protest. As I reported, it was like 2 or 3 days right after the murder of an NYPD officer. Black Lives Matter and a couple other groups decided they would still go on with their anti-cop protest. It was Saturday. It was 4 days after the murder of an NYPD officer. And in that crowd was Tarantino. If you don't know, he is the director, producer, and all writer. I don't know all the exact of each film, but Reservoir Dog, Pulp Fiction, and Django Unchained. He flew from California to take part in the event, and, well, these idiots aren't going to learn. Well, real quick, I'm a human being with a conscience, and if you believe there's murder going on, then you need to rise up and stand up against it. I'm here to say I'm on the side of the murdered. That is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. Because number one, if you look at the stats, I keep hearing how Black Lives Matter, they're getting murdered. Oh my God, they're just getting mowed down in the street by cops. For number one, if you look at it, whites have a higher rate of getting shot and killed by cops than blacks. Right there ends the argument. It's bullshit. Listen, there's some incidents that the left are pushing upon everybody with false narratives. Hands up, don't shoot. It didn't happen, so let's go loot. They're pushing false narratives and lies about it. They're exaggerating facts. They're pushing stuff before even facts come out. And this dumbass comes out and joins this protest. Well, if anybody's seen Seth Rogen shot his mouth off and he had a movie coming out, and whether it's directly related to it or not, the movie tanked. People are starting to get it through their heads. It's not protest, but you know what? We can show them how we feel with our wallet, especially when it comes to these Hollywood idiots that think everything is deserved upon them, everything's free, everything's given to people. Well, guess what? The only way you get that is when we spend money, and I won't even watch certain movies anymore that are on cable that I pay for already. I will not watch Jim Carrey anymore. I don't care what it is. If I'm watching an old Living Color rerun, and I see that he's on it that episode, I turn it off. I'll be doing it with this dumbass. I mean, alright, if you still want to go on with the protest, you should have friggin' backed it up. Out of respect, at least. For another human being, you're crying about humans being killed. You're crying about it. But then when a human gets murdered in cold blood, you go on with a protest? That doesn't... That man did not deserve to be murdered like that for just doing his job. Where's the outrage for that? Where's the outrage for that officer? And there's been like, what, 4 or 5 of them in the last 11 months in New York? Why? Because the Democrats have pushed these false narratives. The blood is on their hands. It is on Bill de Blasio's hands. It is on Obama's hands. And it doesn't faze them one bit. But, on the other hand, and this isn't against the cops, this is against the citizens, the cops are going to start pulling back. I'll tell you that. They will start pulling back and not acting as quick. Now, one, they do not have a constitutional mandate that they have to. There is nothing that says they have to intervene. Nothing. It has been Supreme Court held its ground on it and said, nope, cops don't have to respond. And you're going to piss on the cops who put their lives on the line and do respond and interfere. Now you're going to have them backing off. And you know who you're going to have to thank? Just like you have in Baltimore right now. The cops aren't acting. They don't want to get arrested. They don't want to get charged for doing their job. So they're backing off. You had that in Ferguson. The cops are backing off. You're going to have that all over. The cops are going to start backing off. And then you're going to see what it's like to live without officers. And then everybody's going to start crying the cops aren't doing their job properly. And we're seeing in Baltimore, everybody's crying, look at the motor rates going up. They're not doing nothing. Help us. Yeah, you piss on them. They're not going to come around. Patrick Lynch, president of the Patrolmen's Benevolence Association, on Sunday said about Tarantino, it's no surprise that someone who makes a living glorifying crime and violence is a cop hater too. The police officers that Quentin Tarantino calls murderers aren't living in one of his deprived big screen fantasies. They're risking and sometimes sacrificing their lives to protect communities from real crime and mayhem. Now, we're going to go just a little bit slightly away from this. A good friend of mine, as most people know on the show, I used to be an EMT. I did it for 25 years. I did it up in New Jersey. I spent a lot of years working hand in hand with the officers. We helped each other. We protected each other. And one of the officers that I know that is... he's a big teddy bear. Not even a big guy. I'm not going to say big teddy bear because he's kind of short. But he's a great guy. He listens to everybody. And just recently, someone went off on him, about being an officer. And cussed him up one side and down the other. And you're a piece of garbage. Yada, yada. This man, out of anybody, is the last person I would suspect of anybody going off on. He gives everybody chances. He gives everybody an opportunity. But these people are just blindly being dumb. Trying to remodel at the same time doing my show. And I still have several friends, well, I consider them friends, that are officers up there. And they're putting their lives on the line for what? They're putting their lives on the line for what? So that these pieces of garbage can go in protest. You know, they have a right to protest. I understand all that garbage. They have a right. You know what? Those officers have a right to go home alive at the end of their shift. But there's a lot of officers that are not going home this year because of the bullshit that the left has pushed. Hillary, Obama, Bernie Sanders is now jumping in on it and pushing this negative, authoritative, negative police as they are surrounded by armed guards. I'll tell you what, when they give up their armed guards, then we can start talking about anti-police sentiments and all that. Until then, these politicians can piss off. So, on to the next. This one's kind of got me laughing. Obama to push prison reform. Obama to push prison reform. Gun control in Chicago. Yes, I did not misread that. Gun control in Chicago. Chicago already has some of the strictest gun laws. And this moron thinks by adding more laws, it will solve the problem. That would be like, okay, we got a tire fire here. Okay, to put it out, let's throw more tires on it, and we'll smother it. No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Now, if you just had a fire that just started, and it's in its infancy, yes, you can smother it quickly. So he's seeking to build a support for a bipartisan criminal justice overhaul. President Obama will speak to a group of police chiefs on Tuesday in his hometown of Chicago. Jeez, I said that not too long ago, and this dumb idiot liberal jumped all over my back. He's from Hawaii, shows how little you know. Hey, moron. It's called, his hometown is Chicago, because that's where he started his political career. That's where he spent a lot of years. You know what? I call Tampa area my hometown, because that's where I live now. You know, friggin' morons. It's bad when that's what they have to argue points about. Oh, you said hometown, that's not his hometown. Yeah, screw you. But also, Obama plans to wade into the political diverse issue of gun control during his speech to international chiefs of police. He will continue to push for criminal justice reform that will make the system smarter, more effective, and more fair while addressing the need for common sense gun safety reform. Oh, God, Chicago's in so much trouble. I feel for you. I really do feel for you, Chicago. But then again, I'd get the hell out of there. Just don't come down here. And it's nothing against you, but it's the same with, I'm getting tired of the Northeast coming down here. Alright, you got New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. They're trying to get away from the Democrats. They're trying to get away from the high taxes and all that bullshit up there. So they come down to Florida. And what do these people do? They vote the same idiots that ruined and have high taxes up there they're trying to vote those same idiots down here. You friggin' half-witted nerf herders. I don't understand. I'm just... By the way, there is only 53 more days until Star Wars 7 comes out. Just a nice little warning. 53 days. And that would make it... Well, that's on the 18th. What did I say? Oh my God, my memory's going. Something so quick and easy. So... I'm going to do the math here in my head. I'm going to have to. Holy shnikey. Holy for holies. But remember, there's only 49 days of shopping left till my birthday. Yes, I had to get a calculator for all that. Nike. Sometimes I just can't think. I'm trying to think about 20 things at the show and then trying to do math. That, which reminds me. So, me and my wife, we're talking. It's beginning. It's not beginning of the school year, but there's still new stuff with the teachers dealing with that, and we weren't exactly happy with the teacher that my daughter has right now. So we decided we're going to go have a parent-teacher conference. Now, my daughter knew about it, and I don't keep things for my daughter. I don't. But that day, she goes into class, and she hands something to the teacher, and she looks at the teacher. Now, my daughter's 12. And she goes, by the way, just so you know, you're on my mommy's poop list. Yeah. So the teacher tells us that, and we're just like, oh, shit. Yeah, we haven't exactly been happy. That's why we wanted to have this meeting, try to hash it out so everything would be, going good. Teacher understood, and we went on from there. And it just was like, I looked over at my daughter like, you little shit. You little shit. It was quite funny. So yeah, Chicago, I feel sorry for you. You have... The White House is aware of the symbolism of speaking out on the issue in Chicago, where gun violence has reached record level. The city has experienced 2,300 shootings this year as of the end of September, up by 400 at the same point in 2014. Homicides have jumped by 21%. What he's going to try to do something, because everybody, oh, we need sensible gun laws, we need stricter gun laws. Yeah, how's that working out for Chicago? That's racism. No, it isn't. It's not racism. It's a fact. You have strict gun laws in Chicago, and it's not working out. But yet you want to do nationally what you've done to Chicago. And look at the results. We have high amount of shootings in Chicago. So now he's going to try to jump in there and, I don't even know what he could do by adding more laws. And that's what makes me laugh. This idiot actually thinks by adding one more law, the criminals will now listen. One more gun law will make them listen. Because making murder illegal wasn't good enough. All right, remember, Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on shrmedia.com and punditpress.com. You will find the Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by me, Jersey Joe. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on shrmedia.com and punditpress.com. You have the Reaver After Dark, hosted by me, Jersey Joe. I don't know when it's starting. It may start this week. There's going to be a new show prior to mine, and as soon as I get more information, I'll let you know. But there's going to be a show previous to mine, then it goes to Ken the Conservative, and then after that it is the Sackhead show. But I will be right back after these commercial breaks.
Listening to Reaver Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic, stupid.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press Radio, and YouTube through the SHR Media page for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
Hey, it's Jersey Joe from Reaver of Common Sense, and we have moved to a new night and time. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com, you will catch the Reaver of Common Sense uncensored, unfiltered, and only on shrmedia.com.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Wish I was too dead to cry. A self-affliction fades. Stones to throw at my masochist to which I cater. You don't need to bother. I don't need to breathe. I'll keep slipping farther. Once I hold on, I won't let go till it ends. I was too dead to care, if indeed I cared at all. Never had a voice to protest, so you fed me shit to digest. I wish I had a reason, my flaws are open season. For this I gave up trying. One good turn deserves my time. You don't need I died instead lived. A zombie hides my face, shell forgotten with its memories. Tires left with cryptic entries, and you don't need to bother. I don't need to be undone. I keep slipping further. But once I'm done, I won't let go till it bleeds. You don't need to bother. I don't need to be undone. I keep slipping further. Once I hold on, never let down my deceit.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. Actually, I'm starting to like this new setup I got. It's doing much better. Much. Oh, very happy. Very happy. You're number 9. So as Obama is pushing for gun control, Islamic invasion pulls trigger. Europe now scrambling for guns. That's right. Europeans are now scrambling, trying to find guns. Australians are arming themselves at a record rate in an effort to defend their households against fear attacks from Muslim invaders. Tens of thousands of Muslims refugees have poured into Austria from Hungary, Slovenia, in recent months on their way to Germany and Sweden, 2 wealthy European countries that have laid out the welcome mat for migrants. More than 1 million will end up in Germany alone by the end of the year, according to estimates from the German government. Now, the problem with this article right there, I will stop it right there, because now Germany, the Chancellor, is saying, go away. The country's people have risen up so bad that they're now saying, no, we don't want any more. We can't take any more. Those that are here, we need you to leave. If you look across Europe, there is between the Muslims doing crazy stunts and rioting and all that, but you also have the people of each country that have been burning down mosques. Oh, we're going to put these immigrants in this area here. Burns down. Which... it just, I gotta laugh. Obtaining a working firearm and ammunition in Germany, Britain, Denmark, and the Netherlands is practically impossible for the average citizens. Germany, for instance, requires a psychological evaluation, a purchase of liability insurance, and a verifiable compliance with strict firearm storage and safety rules, and self-defense is not even a valid reason to purchase a gun in these countries. The laws in Austria, while still strict, are a bit less overbearing. A Czech TV reports confirms that long guns, shotguns, and rifles have been flying off the shelves in Austria, and Australians who haven't already purchased a gun may not have a chance to get one for some time. They're all sold out. And those arming themselves are primarily women. Those arming themselves are primarily women. If anyone wants to buy a long gun in Austria right now, too bad for them. The Czech newscaster says all of them are currently sold out. He cites the Austria news outlet. Ooh, I'm not even going to try that name. We cannot complain about lack of demand, Stefan Mayer, a gun merchant, told the newspaper. He claims that stocks have been sold out for the last 3 weeks and that demand is being fueled by fears generated by social change. People want to protect themselves. mayor said. Nevertheless, the most common purchasers of arms are primarily Austrian women. They are also buying pepper sprays, which Meyer said are in a big demand amongst those who can't get a gun. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And that's what we have coming to America. Look what's coming to America near you. Massive invasion of Muslims. I'm sorry, I have no problem with Muslims coming here. What I have a issue with is the invasion that's happening from these Muslims. It is not refugees. They are not refugees. I'm sorry. You are the age to stand up for your country. You stay there. You fight. You join the rebellion. You don't run and then expect us to go over there. You don't run and expect other countries to take care of you. Why those countries go and fight for your country. You stand up and you fight for your country. You stand up. These people are running. And it's disgusting. And we should not be giving them any haven. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Do. I don't know. I do not know. Popping around. So, this is an older article I came across, but it's just it pushes Bush's ideology. Jeb Bush, Republicans do not need conservatives to win White House, should not defund executive amnesty. Now, this was back in December 2nd of 2014. Even though moderate Republican candidates lose presidential elections without the conservative base, see George H. Bush, 92, Bob Dole, 96, McCain, 08, Mitt Romney, 12. The former Florida governor and potential presidential candidate Jeb Bush thinks conservatives are not needed to win the White House. Bush believes that a presidential candidate who is willing to lose the primary to win the general has the best shot at the White House. Willing to lose the primary to win. That does. Oh my God. This guy, I think he got dropped on his head too much. And I laugh because everybody says that George W. Bush was the retard. No. This one is. This one is the retard. Bleep. Alright. I don't know if I'm a good candidate or a bad one, Bush said at a Wall Street Journal CEO council meeting in Washington, D.C. I kind of know how a Republican win, whether it's me or somebody else, and it has to be much more uplifting, much more positive, much more willing to lose the primary to win the general without violating your principle. It's not an easy task, to be honest with you, and that does not make a goddamn lick of sense. Lose the primary to win the general. If you lose the primary, you're not going to be running in the general. Should Bush run, which we know he's trying to, his embrace of comprehensive amnesty legislation and Common Core will put him at odds with conservative voters in the early primary states. Bush, who said he would make a decision in short order about, we all know that he ran, but here's the thing everybody knows, and I think this is why his numbers are plummeting faster than Monica Lewinsky in the White House, is because of his amnesty. Because of his Common Core. I have a daughter in the schooling system with Common Core, and let me tell you, I friggin' hate it. I can't help her with her homework. I do not understand it, and I'm sorry, I'm not going back to school to learn because some idiot thought of a way to make money off the government by selling this bullshit mathematics and Common Core altogether. It is the most bullshit stuff. And someone got very rich by coming up with the most useless way of mathematics. And what's funny is now my daughter's in 5th grade and they're complaining that all the kids are still having trouble with the multiplication and division because they don't have it memorized. All of us remember it was memorization. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. So forth and so on. It was memorization that it was ingrained in us. So by the time they're in 5th grade and so forth, it is ingrained in them. It just pops off like that. But now, no, they have to sit there and get like 20 pieces of paper to figure out 2 plus 2 with this new Common Core. And it's ridiculous. And this is why this man is going down in a blaze of glory. Not even a blaze of glory. He's going away. I'll tell you this. I liked George Bush. I liked him. You can bash me all you want. I don't care. What that man, he's nothing like his brother. And it's funny, he was the one that was supposed to be president first. That's funny. Okay. He is down to, in the latest polls, RCP polls, which does a general, he's at a 7.0. Breaking news. News from the Hill. Ryan says, budget process stinks, but deal expected to pass. Yeah. That's why I don't want to see him as a speaker, because it'll be same as having Biner. All right, back. Bush is at a 7.0 on an average. He's as high as 8 in 2 polls. 2 polls has him at 7, and 1 poll has him at 5. See, I'm not worried about Trump's numbers going up and down, because that's what he's done. He's had some highs, some lows, some highs, some lows. But as soon as someone starts attacking him, his numbers will go up. It's inevitable. That's what it's at. He still has a lead. Again, like I said, I like using this one because it's an average of different polls. One poll may say one thing, and I get tired of that. Look at this. All right, example. CBS has Trump at 22, Carson at 26. So it has Carson leading. But now you go to ABC poll. It has Trump at 32 and Carson at 22. Monmouth poll has Trump at 28 and Carson at 18. They're all over the place depending on the area. So you take the average of all of them together and you put it together and you got a great number to work with. At least that's what I feel. Yeah. Just, it's going to be a long year and a half. It's going to be very long. I do worry about how much damage is this guy going to do. I really worry. All right. Now, let me remind you, now I don't know. I think I have this Friday, Rod Eccles. He is an author and a speaker and also has a show here on shrmedia.com. He will be a guest on the show Friday, I believe it is, unless we have a total screw up on the scheduling, which I'm going to double check today to make sure. And yeah, so Friday it looks like we're going to have a guest, so it'll be just a fun, peachy time. I'm trying to work on a couple other guests for the Reaver After Dark show. I'm waiting to hear back from oh my god, brain fart. Chris Prontu's management to see when I can get him back on the show, because it's always fun to have him on. Fun. My phone is whistling at me. There's that one. Who did I go? Alright. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I apologize so much. It's my show. I can do what I damn well please. No. Just looking over, checking some emails. I only check them when I'm online. That's the funny part. So, we'll see what's going on in the near future. So, we are late going to break. Remember, every Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on shrmedia.com, you can catch the Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by me, Jersey Joe. And then remember, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on shrmedia.com and abundantpress.com. You can catch Reaver After Dark, hosted by me, Jersey Joe. Also, please go to my webpage, reaverofcommonsense.com, and don't forget to click on the like button right off to the left. That is for Facebook. You will be able to keep up with any articles, anything that is Reaver news. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
All good friends of ours.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network. In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. You didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic, stupid.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press Radio, and YouTube through the SHR Media page for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
Hey, it's Jersey Joe from Reaver of Common Sense, and we have moved to a new night and time every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com. You will catch the Reaver of Common Sense uncensored, unfiltered, and only on shrmedia.com.
right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. Alright, we're in the final segment. The final segment. We're coming down the home stretch. Alright. I am in a good mood, and I don't know why. Which beats the other days. I've been usually pretty grumpy lately. The pain in my back's just been killing me. It's funny, I go to a pain doctor that does nothing for the pain. You know, he doesn't believe in doing stuff for pain. But he's a pain doctor. He's pain management, but he doesn't do anything for the pain. Oh, he knows how to increase the pain. So, alright, Team Bush tells donors Marco is a GOP Obama. Jeb Bush campaign team is striking a presidential rival, Marco Rubio, in its harshest terms yet, telling wealthy donors Marco is a GOP Obama. So it's basically the two Republicans that act more like Democrats going at each other is actually kind of funny. They're both down in the polls. They're pretty much insignificant candidates. Rubio needs to be removed immediately as a senator. Being in his district, I do not like the fact that he has not shown up for vote and does not planning on showing up for voting. That he just doesn't believe in it anymore. It's not for him. Which, he's failing to do his job. That is negligence. He is failing to do his job. But yeah, he's taking a paycheck for it, isn't he? He has taken money from American people, but openly admitting that he's not going to go do his job. Yeah. I think some phone calls need to be made to Marco Rubio's office So, the provocative charge is a part of a 45-slide PowerPoint presentation that is being shown to donors assembled at the Houston Hotel for a 2-day Bush campaign retreat. So, basically, give me money, even though I'm about ready to run out of this campaign because my numbers are in the toilet and going lower. The section about Rubio presented on Monday morning by Bush's campaign manager, Danny Diaz, suggested that Bush's team views his fellow Floridian as its most serious rival in the establishment lane for the Republican nomination. On the slide titled Experience Matters, Diaz states we need to offer a contrast to the current president. Hillary will pitch competence and experience. Marco is a GOP Obama. Not that even. The slide continues. Rubio and President Obama have strikingly similar profiles. First-term senators. You're not even a senator, Bush. You were a governor. That's it. That's it. You have not worked federally. I mean, if you're going to knock someone else, you better make sure you have more experience and your qualifications are better than that person when you knock them. A lawyer and university lecturer, served in part-time state legislature for 8 years, had few legislative accomplishments, and haven't shown much interest in the process of achieving legislative and getting results. Another slab jab at Rubio over endorsements, with a headline stating that the closest to Marco choose Jeb. Those closest to Marco choose Jeb. The slide details how politicians from Florida, including a number serving in state legislature where Rubio serves as speaker, have endorsed Bush for president. Some 150 of Bush's biggest donors were shown in the PowerPoint presentation on Monday, part of a concerted effort to convince them that the campaign is not in the dire place portrayed by national polls and the media. So basically, he's trying to feed you a bunch of bullshit, donors, and tell you everything's peachy keen while he's serving you a plate of bullshit. Everybody knows just recently he's shuffling around his campaigns and cutting payroll costs nearly in half. He's in financial desire. His numbers are in the toilet. But yet, he is doing peachy keen. Everything's fine. Ignore the mass devastation behind you. Next PowerPoint slide indirectly addressed Bush's disappointing poll numbers, emphasizing that the race will remain fluid for some time because voters have not decided yet. That's why more and more Republicans are getting behind Trump. And this one's funny, too. Poland's parliament has literally zero liberals now. A crushing sweep of conservatives in Poland's Sunday election means that left-wing parties have been entirely eliminated from the country's parliament for the first time since the end of World War II. The feat is all the more impressive because Poland uses a proportionally representative system where instead of electing individual members, seats are doled out by how much of the vote each party received. To qualify, the United Left, a coalition of Poland's Socialist, Democrat, Greens, and other left-wing elements, needed to get just 8% of the vote, and they couldn't even manage that instead. The bulk of the seats will be split between two parties of varying degree of conservatism. The various Law and Justice Party is skeptical of the European Union, opposes the acceptance of large amounts of immigrants, but is also rather protective on economics. Civil platform. The second place party is more free market in its economic and is pro-union. European Union, both are quite social conservatives. Oh. Getting out of beeping. And I shut you down. Okay. Now, this is getting... I like what I'm seeing because on the next article that I read, only a third of the EU is governed by the central left based on political positions defined by affiliations in the European Parliament. The 8 countries on central left comprise about 32.5% of the EU's population. The left is losing traction in Europe because it has run it to the ground. The left have run Europe into the ground. And you have people like Bernie Sanders and Hillary that want to do the same thing. That is exactly what they'll do. They're feeding you full of bullshit and telling you it's cherry pie. And I can't believe that there's people actually dumb enough to believe that Europe is doing oh so great. Everybody that has eyes can see that they're in trouble over there. What more can I say? What more can I say? Except that Europe's smartening up before its collapse. There's several countries in dire need. And now is when it's starting to wake up. I just hope it's not too late for our country, because we've been swinging to that left, and I believe in it, the yin and yang, even in politics. I do believe that, but we're heading so far left now, it's not funny, and the left that we have is not the left from 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's a socialist party. It's out to destroy everything we stand for. Alright, everybody, that's my show. Remember, Monday through Friday, noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on shrmedia.com and punditpress.com. You can catch me, Jersey Joe, on Reaver of Common Sense. And every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on shrmedia.com, you can catch me hosting Reaver After Dark. That's right, they love me so much here, they gave me 6 shows to do. That's a lot of shows. Remember, also, can you please go to Reaver Common Sense. On the left-hand side, click the like button. That will put you onto my Facebook, and you can keep up to date. Listen, everybody, I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.